Well, hello there. So I thought about doing a video on what I wear on the trail and why I pick that. That might be of some interest to some folks. I think I'll try to do it from body part because there could be spring, summer, fall, winter, late spring, early fall. So I'll just go through different things. First thing, head. I like beanies, and beanies are instantly great. If you're right in between where you're thinking about putting on a jacket or that kind of thing, just try putting on a beanie instead. For me, I'm instantly warm when I put on a beanie, even if I'm wearing the same shirt. But in the summertime, I think I've worn these for years and years where I just wear an old boonie hat. Works real good. About the only modification I do is I get a long pair of shoelaces because when you hang it off the back of your back, it's like right here with the normal Jervis lanyard. So I like to let it just go down the back of my backpack. So I've worn those for years and years. Works great. You'd think it would be hot in the summer, but it's really not that bad. Great for covering a lot of sun, better than baseball hats. But I do like, I've tried these on and they're working really good for me. So the combination with the baseball hat and the bandana is great. The good thing about the baseball hat is that it's easier to kind of store. I got the little umbrella that I just hang it on, so I don't have to wear anything. And then a bandana is always nice. Neck. Usually I don't wear anything if it's summer, of course, but if it's starting to get cold, I love buffs. They're just really nice. I've tried the wool buffs, and I don't really like them that much. The reason is that there's a lot of wool and not much spandex, so they kind of droop off you, and you got to really crank them to get them up tight. The original plain lycra spandex buffs are in my mind the best. They work great in the heat, and just even when it's cold, when you pull it up, it's pretty darn good, close enough. If it's really biting cold, then I've got something I wear more. It's a real thick fleece, and you can kind of just tie it up, and it's just like probably 1/2 ounce. I mean, it's super light. So the next is shirts. I pretty much just wear for extended hikes a Columbia Silver Ridge light. Now there are two flavors in these things. One is the light, L-I-T-E, and one is the regular. The lights just are the same, except they got a little bit thinner fabric and a little bit more breathing area back in the back. I like that their collars can come up high. I like that they give you like lots of sleeve. So I wear the sleeves down even when it's hot. Through Oregon, it was like 88 degrees on the trail every day, and that was in the shade. So super hot, and this works just fine. You're going to be hot in a t-shirt. You're going to be hot without any shirt. This kind of does break the sun off your skin, and it dries just like instantly. If I take off my pack, it's dry in just a few minutes. So there are a lot of folks who make these. REI makes them. A bunch of companies make the same kind of idea of a synthetic breathable shirt, but I know this one the best. My one thought on this is if you're going to be hiking in the summer, get a light color. Yeah, so even a color like this is like a light green. That felt like it would be too hot last summer. So if you're going to pick up one of these shirts, try to get something in a nice light color that makes you happy and makes you feel cooler. Get one, a white. I would not do white. White just looks incredibly filthy after like a couple hours. Something like a light tan or light blue, something that makes you think of coolness. I've got like an aqua colored one of these too, so that kind of pool color doesn't feel so hot. Now, if it's cold, the sky's the limit. I would probably just go black. Probably most of my cold things are just black. During the day. So during the night, I just have an icebreaker wool shirt. I didn't really try wool before, and I thought it might itch. I can't tell that it does any kind of itching. Some people just sleep in their trail shirts, but I would discourage that. The back would probably get filthy after a while. I do to sleep in my trail shorts, but I try to draw the line in the shirt. Also, the shirt gives you one clean thing if you want to hitch a ride. You don't wear this disgusting, filthy thing. You change out of this, and then you go like, so you're not quite so oppressive when you get into somebody's car. So what other things from here to here? I've worn a Ghost Whisperer for the past few years. It's great. It's good to like go 45 degrees or something like that. If it's 40, you're starting to feel cold, and you're starting to. And then I would put other things like my rain jacket on or something, anything, and my sleep shirt. So that'll work pretty good. If it's really biting cold, I've worn this several times. This is a Feathered Friends. Feathered Friends is a company up in Seattle, and it really just weighs another like 2 ounces more than this does, but it's like 3 times warmer. There's like very, very high in, I think it's 900 fill goose down in it. Works great. Now the problem is, this compresses into nothing, and this compresses into nothing plus a little bit. So it will go down pretty good, but all that winter stuff does take up more space in your pack. So when you're talking about layering in cold weather, I've not found that these shirts do that great of a job of being a base layer. They just don't feel that warm. Even in the regular weight, it still is a little bit wanting. So then I switch over to a merino wool. Montbell makes this a base layer. It's a 200 gram wool, quarter zip. They give you a pretty good sized neck, so it does come up some to cover your neck. And the sleeves are very generous in that they don't give you the short sleeves, so it comes out to like here when you put your arms out. So that's a new trend that I really like in warm clothing, is that they give you nice long sleeves. So I paired this with a Patagonia R1. So I've worn this one to death. Ever noticed in backpack videos where everything looks new? It looks like you just took it out of the box. I've got some glue on this one and a bunch of this is just the best thing. It's a Patagonia R1. It's like a Capilene 4 or 5 if they had that. It's real thick. And it's just the warmest thing. I love how it comes up far in your neck. It's like a 1/2 zip. And it's just the best thing. It is bulky. That's the problem. You can't compress these too well. But this with the wool and the R1 and maybe like the just feathered Friends jacket, you're loaded for bear. I try not to wear these while I hike. You don't want to ever get the inside of your puffy wet from sweat. This should be like when you get into camp stuff. And I very, very rarely need it when I'm hiking. I mean, I'm out. Yesterday I was out in 42 degree weather in a t-shirt. Now, if I stop for 5 minutes, I'd be cold, but you generate a lot of heat when you hike, and when you climb, it's even more so. So that's my cold weather stuff for chest. So there are shorts people and there are not shorts people. I'm a shorts person. I like to wear shorts. I hate hiking in pants. I just don't like the feel of that being around my knees. It just feels more free. So the shorts I like are Prana Zion. These are just incredibly durable. They've got a little bit of a stretch to them, and these shorts have about 1,000 miles on them, and they look new. So some people do wear running shorts. I just use these to swim or to change clothes in. I like having pockets, so pockets are big, and just these have just side pockets too. The one complaint I've heard people say is that the inseam is a little long. So if your legs are more mid-length, you might feel the inseam of this rubbing against your kneecap. I have longer legs, so that doesn't really bother me. But that's probably their one main complaint. They dry instantly. I would advise getting them in like a dirt brown. Get shorts in like a dirty, kind of a dirt brown, so that they don't show dirt as fast. Even the tan ones like this show a little bit too much dirt. I've got like a green pair, like that color green, and they just seem to appear to be cleaner longer. These do come with some legs that you can zip on. I've never even used them. So I do use shorts to sleep in, and I do use them to change clothes in, or if I just, sometimes you just stink and you have to wash your shorts. Like we were out on the JMT a couple of years ago, and it was a 10-day carry, and my shorts were just, gross, but they were all I had. You can't go around bottomless, not for long. So a pair of something else that's light, that folds down into nothing would have been a welcome thing to add. So other things that cover the legs, this was new to me, and I never knew that they even made them, but they do make netting pants now. They come with a large draw string, and the bottoms do have a little draw too. If you're a shorts person like me, you don't want to wear pants, and if it's like 90 degrees, it just sounds so hot to wear pants. But when I was walking through the south part of Oregon, the mosquitoes were just out of control, and if you stopped at all, you were just giving it this kind of stuff. So you walked very fast for like 6 hours just to try to get out of it. Just to have these weigh like 1 ounce, and they come in a nice little bag. Netting is just the lightest thing that I can think of, and these will always come in my pack if there's going to be bugs. Even biting flies, it's just, you got to have something to cover your legs up with. So on the subject of bugs, never had one mosquito bite through the Columbia Silver Red shirt, not one, and they probably were crawling on me, but and I didn't really treat them with the permethrin, but they just seem like they're super good at just stopping bugs from biting through, and the shorts the same thing. I never had one bug bite me through the shorts. So other things to cover the legs, tights. So these are Patagonia Capilene 4s, and Capilene 4s are super warm, but there's kind of a weirdness about them in that they're kind of thin. I'll see if I can show you this on the camera. But you see how that you can just almost see through it. They've got ribbing. There are ribs that kind of hold the heat in, but they work best with another pair, like your rain pants or that kind of thing. If it's only 50 degrees, that's fine. But if you're talking about a strong wind, these might be a little bit worse than the Capilene 3. I've got a pair of those somewhere, but the Capilene 3 actually weighs a little bit more than the 4s do because the 4s are kind of thin in that way. But I like that, but the 4s are a lot more breathable, and it's warm enough. So I've not really worn tights when I hike yet because I really don't feel that cold on my legs. If my head is warm and this part is warm and my neck is warm, then I'm fine. It could be 20 degrees and my legs feel fine. I'm really not sensitive to cold in that way. Socks I always wear darn tough. Never had a problem with them. I've got a couple pairs of the Injinji too, but they're a pain to take off and they're a pain to put on. And if you're going to have wet feet all day, that's a good time to put those on. But on the PCT and the West Coast, if you're not walking through snow, then you usually don't have wet feet. On the CDT, there's a river you cross about 30 times. That would be a good day to have Injinjis on because you're going to walk with wet feet the entire day. Sleeping socks, sometimes I take them, sometimes I don't. If it's not going to be a long carry, then I don't bother with them because I'm just going to sleep in my regular socks and just let that fall where it may, with the bag getting dirty. Shoes I've always worn, the Ultras, and I just did a video on that. And if you want to see that, I'll just show that right up here. For my hands, the gloves I always wear are these Outdoor Research sun gloves. And I put 1,000 miles on the last pair before they got a little bit of tear on that seam. So you'd think they would fall apart, but they're incredibly tough. They're great in the sun because you got your hands out all day long on the pole, and they're great in the cold wind too because it's just one less area of skin you have exposed. Fantastic. I feel like it just feels normal when I got them on. If those are not enough for cold, and they frequently aren't, then something like a fleece glove. These are an REI fleece glove. Now they got those touch things. They work about a quarter of the time. I usually have to take and pull my glove off and change my iPhone and then put the glove back on. I do have some old ski mittens, but I'm not gonna, those are too bulky. So I'm gonna try, there's an Outdoor Research mitten, which I wanna try, which is better at windproofing. I was just out 2 days ago and the wind was probably 15, 20 miles per hour in gusts, and my fingers were just getting numb. So, and you got your hand out there in the wind, and you really can't just, put your hand just somewhere else. So I'm going to try to find something that's a little bit more windproof, and I like being able to put my fingers together for that extra little bit of warmth. For sunglasses, I always use a brand called Peppers. And Peppers. There was a girl named Wired who's got a channel called Hiking with Wired, and this is what she was using on her trip. And I tried them out; they're great. I really like the color. The blue seems to really just be easier on your eyes. They're really comfortable. They're light. They were only like $35 at REI. So I bought two of them because you're always going to lose a pair and then be in the middle of nowhere. So remember, I've got the van. I've got that advantage over other people. So these are fantastic sunglasses. So that's what I have to choose from when I go out and hike, and I hope that helps you, and we'll catch you later. Bye-bye.